You're listening to Asharami Radio.
All right, Saharians all around the world and our listeners anywhere you are. Welcome back to Asharami Radio Live. And today's been Valentine's and it's, being mad with kindness. And we told you we have Damilola Adegbite in the house. Come on, if you're excited, show us some emojis are right there. Show us how excited you are. You are welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. Namesake.
Yeah, namesake. Thank you. This lady has been calling me the counterfeit dummy, and well, I can't help but to say I kind of seem counterfeit beside your glow right
Don't
now.
mind her. They're jealous of us.
You look amazing. Thank you
Thank
for
you so much.
joining us here on Asharami
You
Radio.
for having me.
Yes, it's our pleasure. We asked some people to tell us in the comments some of the favorite movies of you that they have and roles that you acted. So I want to check out some if they are correct. Someone said you acted in Flower Girl in 2013
Yes. Yeah.
and Teen Cell in
Yes.
2008. This person says in Flower Girl you played as Kemi. The plot twist is winning back your ex-boyfriend. Could you win him back?
Did I? Oh, I think after some time, the wahala was so much. After just, then I found somebody better.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Let me check another one that has been written. Someone says you acted as Thelma Duke in Teen Cell.
So, yeah.
Just in 2 seconds about the character there.
Oh, it's been many years ago. I hope I can remember. But she was a beauty queen who was torn between two guys. So there was Soji Bankole, who was Ben Rajibade, and then there was his name Kwame, who was Chris Atto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that really was the the background of her story. It was that there was a huge tussle between the two guys.
Amazing.
For her. Yeah.
Great. Anyway, it's so good to have you here. And we just want to say, because one thing we do here in Asharami Radio and in Sahara is we identify with people who have been making a difference. Like we say, people who are mad, people who are transformational. And looking at your career, it has evolved over the years. You've gone through acting, through modeling, and now you're a wellness coach. So my question is this: how has all of this influenced and shaped your journey? And are there moments through this journey where you see kindness, either from yourself or from others, influence your destination currently?
Oh, definitely. I think very largely because, as we say, it takes a community.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. We might not pay attention to how many people we have gone through or how many situations or experiences, we have been helped through to get to where we are. But from the very inception, which was Tinsel was,
Wow.
before that I had my struggles as an upcoming.
But that was a big break.
Yeah, I had been ushering, I had been modeling, never a big break, but Tinsel was my real come out.
Yeah.
And even that, I was on the set of another production, and I got a call from an aunt of mine who was in the industry as well.
Yes.
She recently passed on,
Oh,
Ethel Ekwe.
accept our condolences.
Thank you. And she called me and said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm on one set like this, normal hustle of I don't even know
You
where I
said
am."
that was not setting.
I was in Ikorodu, it was all of that. And she said to me, "See, I don't know what you do. Find a way to get to Ikeja right now, because there's a huge production that, they're auditioning
Yes.
for. And there's a part that we feel like you will really fit into. And they've been having some difficulty finding the cast for that part." So I was jumping, keke, flying, okada, all kinds of things to get there. And I auditioned and I got the part.
Wow.
So just from that, somebody actually thinking of you, calling you, because a lot of people sometimes, it's not that they forget you. They might think, oh, this person will fit that part.
Yes.
But they say, she will become too big now, we will not be able to talk to her again. Especially amongst women, there can be that sense of
Rivalry.
competition, rivalry that they don't call her, But from that, and it's been over 15, 20 years of just meeting with great producers and just,
Amazing.
amazing colleagues. And I've had a good run, honestly. Sometimes when I hear some of those horror stories of don't drop, we will not
Yes.
give you a role. I've never had any of
Wow.
that.
That's
Never.
amazing.
I've never had anybody say that to me. It's
Wow.
always been my talent and what I can bring to the table, So I've really been blessed with kindness. Yes, I have.
This is really great to hear because, and it will lead me to my next question.
Mm.
I feel that the reason why some people are not kind to others is maybe they've not started with the journey of kindness to themselves. So they are not
Possibly.
able to reciprocate.
Yes.
Like the good book, the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Some people will say it starts with you being kind to yourself before you have something to give.
Yeah.
And now you've gone from being an actor, a model, you are a wellness coach. So how have you seen being kind to oneself influencing how you can be kind to other people?
Like you said, beyond even anything that's in your control, it's really just a law of nature, karma. I believe strongly in it that what you put out,
It's
you
what you
get back in. So like you said, besides what anybody actively does for you or anything, the energy that you give out tells a lot about who you are on the inside, what's going on with you on the inside. And if you're a good person, you're a kind person, you're someone who likes peace, you like to spread love, you're genuinely bright, you will give that out,
Yes.
without any effort, So it's not really, it doesn't now feel like a burden, doesn't feel like something you have to be kind every day. It's just something that just
It's naturally
every
flowing
day.
out.
I remember a few days ago, I had cash, which we don't normally have as Nigerians. I had run into a friend and I had hustled some cash, from them. And I got back home and I wanted to give some of the cash to somebody to buy something. And I realized I didn't have any more. And what happened to the fresh bundle that and I remember that along the way, I had given this guy 5K.
You're mad with kindness.
I stopped at one, traffic lights. Hey, mama, through them, And I got home and I had nothing left. And I didn't regret it. I actually was happy doing that. If 2K here, 5K here, 7K here, you don't know how much of an impact it is on other people,
Wow. This is really beautiful to know. And if there's any encouragement to our listeners out there and viewers, ensure that this Valentine season you are showing forth kindness in many, many great ways. And this is a good time. If you have any question for the delectable Damilola Adegbite, please put it in the comments and we are going to be asking her these questions that you have. But, well, I still have a few more for you.
Sure.
And you wrote a book called Reset. And if you would like to journey us through the back end of that book, what inspired it in the first place? And what impact are you hoping that book can achieve in this light of making a difference with kindness? Generally, the role that wellness has to play with that.
Okay, so the book is called Reset, the Mind-Body Approach to a New You. Now, unlike most projects, when you speak to people and you ask them, oh, how did this come about? What's the backstory? I feel that most of the time you hear them say, oh, it was at one of the lowest points of my life. It was when I was hit hard.
I won't lie, I was expecting to hear that.
Yes, it was when I was back against the wall, But for me, it was when I was in one of the most peaceful and most reflective phases of my life. I was in a great place when I wrote. It was a time where I really dove into the under layers of who I was. I was meditating, I was eating well, I was radiating goodness in every area of my life. So I think I was really in touch with my authentic self when I produced that book. And so I wanted to share it. I wanted to share what I was feeling. Actually, the book was not supposed to be a book. I wanted to hand out pamphlets, like back in the day, we used to have, when they just come to Jesus is Lord, they just give you those pamphlets.
Tracks.
You know those yet? Yes, those little tracks. And, there's just a few words of encouragement. Jesus loves you, this and that. You can do it. That's what I wanted to do. Or get people just hand it out in traffic or in the supermarket or whatever. And I was discussing it with one of my big sisters. And she said to me, Dami, you're playing small. Write a book. You have all the information. You have everything that you need to write a book. So I made all the small thoughts bigger.
Wow.
And filled up an entire book.
Amazing.
So it was pretty much, for me, it felt like a manual, like a guide to every woman to just sort of tap into how I was feeling.
So I can't read the book.
That's always the problem. Men will say, but there's some secret data.
I need to research. I need this Dami needs the damn reset, man.
I mean, everyone can read it, honestly, because I wrote it in such a way that it was gender, anyone can read it, but women still kind of have my heart.
I'm definitely reading it. but that's really beautiful to hear, because sometimes we feel that we can only give when we are in the down point in our life, maybe, but it's good for us to also realize that when the going is going well, there's something.
That's when you should give. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right, welcome back, and we still have Damilola Adegbite with us. And the next question, I'm just going to dive right into it. It's a question from the audience, but then it also tallies with what I wanted to ask you next, and that is about. I'll make it two. One. The world of entertainment, this is from one of our very own people, Edikan Felix. He says, the world of entertainment can be stressful and tasking because of the quest for perfection. And that's a pressure that I know exists. So how do you manage that stress from each project and then walk out without qualms and move out to the next project? So I think this person is speaking about the workout that is working out that project, every stress, still ensuring you power through, and then you move on to the next one. It's a deep one.
Okay, I think a lot of times the number one issue is that we think that we must. Don't have to power through everything. You can give your best to the few ones that you have prioritized. Otherwise, you will burn out. So for me, if you notice, I'm not at every event. I'm not one of those people that you see on all the red carpets. I'm not in every movie. Last year alone, excuse me, I think I shot maybe about 3. And I had a lineup of about 7 at least.
Wow.
But I noticed that it was putting a strain on me physically and mentally. And I didn't want to break down. In fact, I remember there was one project that I was supposed to film. I had been away in Namibia filming something else for about 2 months. And I came back and I was supposed to go right into that a few days after. And I was sick. I knew I was sick. I had to call them, apologize, return their money, all of that. Because you will tire out. And when you tire out, you won't even give your best.
Yes.
That best that you think, you will
You're
not
dipping
give
in
your,
value.
yes. You'll dip in quality. So you don't have to do everything and be everywhere and give everything your best. Prioritize what's most important to you, to your calling, to your goals, and then put those at the forefront. And then if there's space for the others, you can accommodate that.
What I mean.
But there must be a strategy in place. There must be a prioritizing, which is put the most important at the top, and then if you can let in the others, do that.
Amazing. I hope you've learned something out there from it to Deacon Felix and every other person. The next question there also, it seems these guys are looking into my playbook. So you've been in the public eye for a long time, been in Nollywood, you're on social media, you have what you do in wellness and all of that. And if there's anything that we know about this age and time, from cancel culture to people just saying whatever they like, negativity and criticism. So how do you manage your peace? And it's part of wellness. How do you manage your peace, having a front-facing and public life, but still trying to balance that out and have quietness and move on from those negative criticism and cancel culture?
Self-talk.
Can you give us some self-talk right here?
You have to, and it takes a while. It's not something that you would just, it's taken years of riding the dragon, as women would say. For me, I've been in the industry and I've dealt with all kinds of rumors. It could have been worse. I thank God for the little I've had.
Yeah.
But you have to get to a place where, will I say gratification or public opinion is not really, you're not looking for, what's that word?
Affirmation.
Cute.
That's what we are dummies. Come on, I read you. I read you, sister. That's why I'm reading that book.
Where you are not really looking to anyone to define your value or your worth, or to say, what do they think about me at what age? So you have to get to that point where I know who I am. And it tells in my moving and in everything that I do. And if I do make a few mistakes once or twice, I'll learn from them. But it has to be your inner talk to yourself all the time that, okay, Dami, that yesterday's one was a mismove. Can't move like that again. Do you understand? But you cannot rely on what other people are saying about you to make you feel good or bad.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Thank you for this. And I think it's something that we should actually look out on a day like this. If there's a song, if you're used to the Nigerian climb, on a day like this, you hear Valentine is coming. Where is your boyfriend or girlfriend? And it's a lot of pressure. And sometimes people want to attribute that sense of value to maybe who is in your life, or are you alone? Are you single? Are you all of that? And many people get depressed on days like this. Some people leave social media, and it's okay for your mental well-being if that's what you need. But I just want you to speak to people at this time as a wellness coach on a day like this or in a season like this. How can we prioritize? And this, unfortunately, would have loved to have you for 2 hours, but the time on this segment has been overrun. But then I want you to, with your experience and all that you've seen, how can we prioritize our own kindness? Be kind to ourselves in this season. If you're to give a charge to everybody, like, what is it going to be?
Again, self-talk.
That's a strategy right there.
It's very important.
Let me ask a question. Is it a chapter in that book?
No.
Maybe this is your prompt to write your new book. The first one is research. Second one is self-talk.
Self-talk. It's very important to internalize. Today, I was leaving my house coming here, and someone called me. My staff at the house called me. I said, "Ma, you have a package?" I do. I was like, I'm not expecting anyone. What kind of? I even forgot that today was Valentine's Day. I forgot. And I got to the door, and there was a package and balloons from somebody. I thought, oh, thank you. To carry it inside for me, I'm going to work.
You're coming to Sahara.
Exactly, because not that I didn't appreciate it, or I do. I mean, when I get back home, I'm going to, but I didn't put my mind to it. I didn't obsess about it. I didn't worry and cry and, complain and lament. And I'm looking at the good things in my life, and I'm focusing on those and pouring my energy into those. So I got dressed and I came here today to do this with you,
And we are delighted to have you here.
And today, to help myself, I'm not going to be going to any restaurants, because if you don't have, just stay at home. Because if you go out, you'll be double depressed because you'll be seeing flowers and everything. And if it gets to you, then stay at home. Just try to focus.
Protect your peace.
Focus on the things that you do have.
Wow. I like what you said. You said focus on the things that are going right in your life and just pour yourself into it. And I think it's also a good one. Be kind to someone out there. It's beyond romance. It's giving. It's sharing. If you have a bundle like Dami did, share it to people on the road and get home and be happy and satisfied. It's really been a pleasure having you on the show.
For having me.
We're going to go on a short break, and when we are back, we'll have Dami play the Mad Challenge, so don't go anywhere. I'm sure you're wondering what that is.
I am.
We want to know how mad you are. All right, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back. And we are having Dami right there to play the Mad Challenge. Okay, now it's 3 throws and with this 4 throws. So it's 4 throws, and the closer to the center you get, the madder you are. So throw 1, strike. Okay, that was a mad throw because mad throws mean okay, subject has removed their shoes. All right, try to go. Oh, okay, that was close, but did not stick on the board. Well, it's still being mad anyway. 2 more. Subject has removed shirt. Subject has removed shirt. And now, okay, shot 3. Wow! Subject is ma. And now, for the final shot, subject is definitely mad. Thank you so much, Dami. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show.
Tune in to Asharami Radio this Friday and every other Friday. Asharami Radio.
You're listening to